Smile.
Smile. Good morning. Yeah, it is morning.
It is
It
still.
is. Good morning.
Still morning.
My name is Paul Church from Clarity Craft here in the UK, and today we're joined by the lovely Deborah Wheeler.
Hi. Morning, everyone.
Hope everybody's well. We'll give it a few moments for everyone to find the room. I can see we've got some eyes in the room already, so we'll just do our lovely waffling. Lovely weather out there this morning.
Beautiful.
Deb's turned up in her convertible car with her sunglasses on this morning.
Well, I have my sunglasses on. The car is not convertible.
The windows are open.
not unless something terrible's happened to it in the car park.
No, it's fine in the car park. So hope everyone, the lovely Jane should be in the room with you this morning. So if you have any questions, she will be there to help. I know we're a little bit early to party, weren't we? There we go.
Oh,
Jane,
a couple of minutes to go. Hi, Jane. Morning.
Yeah, we was keen to get going because Deborah's got some lovely stuff to share with us during this hour and at 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
For those that are familiar, when Deborah comes in on, it's normally sort of the
fourth Friday we
of
do
each
now.
month.
Yeah.
We split the shows up into two different sort of themes, don't we?
Yeah.
So this morning we're sort of both of them are quite masculine, really, aren't they?
Yeah, and we talked about that last month, didn't we, when we were thinking about what to put on, bearing in mind it's Father's Day in June.
Yes.
And so we thought it would be a good opportunity just to do some slightly more masculine, or actually some of them are just more generic.
Yeah.
Unisex almost, I suppose.
Yeah.
But just to take a slightly different angle from all the kind of flowers and prettiness.
They're still pretty.
They're still pretty.
They're very pretty.
You can do stuff. Yeah.
So this morning we're going to look at a village and the harbour.
The village and harbour set.
Then we're going all royal, aren't we?
We are. Well, and I was hearing it on the news this morning as well. So it's VE Day. It's the 80th anniversary of VE Day.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks' time.
Bank holiday, a week on Monday, isn't it? Bank holiday Monday.
Yeah.
That's when it's being celebrated generally, isn't it?
It's the 8th, which is the Thursday.
Yeah.
And there's all sorts of stuff going to be happening around the country, tea parties and things. So I thought we should go a bit kind of celebratory, traditional, and I found the stamps that Barbara drew for the coronation 2 years ago.
Yeah, I know.
In the stamp store when I go and have my monthly
have a look and
rummage.
See what
I love it. It's the only reason I come here is that they let me go and rummage in the stamp store. I just love it. And I thought, what a great opportunity to use them. You may have bought them previously for the coronation, but actually, if you didn't, it's another great idea to get them out. And we put a bit of a twist on one of the sets now.
We have indeed. So we'll come to that in a little while because I think we're literally spot on 10 o'clock.
Excellent.
So we'll just give it a few more minutes. So so we're going all royal. We're going into the village and down to the harbour.
Yep.
This morning.
Yeah.
And then this afternoon we're looking at another two word framers. So the previous months we looked at thank you and joy. Then last month it was flower and love.
Yes.
And then this month we're looking at sport and home. So lovely stamps. And we were looking for the artwork for the sport and the home, and we realised that they'd never been on Create and Craft.
Oh.
And the reason I can tell that, let me just show you. If you just stay there. Because when we do our various TV shows, whether it be on Clarity Social TV, it's right, they're not pizzas, on Clarity Social TV, we have what we call our pizza boxes, our art boxes, and we've got a history then of what's on there. So if they have a label like this, it indicates that it's been on Create and Craft, or Hochanda, or even Hobby Maker. And if they're in these, which were
actual pizza
boxes, obviously clean pizza boxes, then they hadn't been on the new Create and Craft and Hochanda. So it's great that we can actually revisit with Deborah coming in on a monthly basis some of our older designs that some of you may not be even familiar with.
Yeah, and that is one of the things I'm trying to do is kind of go and rummage in the dark recesses in the corners and find some of the older stamps, because I love the new products. Don't get me wrong. I'm in there shopping with the best of them.
But actually, bag over there.
Yeah. I've got my order in. Actually, it's easy to then forget about all of the older stock that we've got buried in our stash, and let us get them out and get them back into the light of day
It is,
again.
because sometimes the old is gold, and I think with Clarity going for over 30 odd years now,
Exactly.
and the designs are still classic now and timeless.
Yeah, and such a fantastic catalogue
Yes,
of samples. And the danger is we only ever look at the front end of everything
right.
with all the new stuff. It's like
Yeah.
sustainable fashion, isn't it? And everybody's saying, you know, go vintage and wear
and go back
rewear
and wear
stuff and don't do all the fast fashion. Do buy the new products. That's not what I'm saying. But you know,
it is that same,
go back
yeah,
and refresh and keep using
definitely.
the other bits, or buy them if you've not already had them and previously seen them.
And you'll find that a lot of the products do cross match with one another,
Most
don't they, as
definitely.
well? So
Yeah,
which
yeah.
Debs is going to show us during the course of this hour and later at 2 o'clock. So if you're tuning in for the first time, let's do a little bit of housekeeping, because we've waffled a little bit now. Well, I've waffled. There's two ways in which you can order. You can either go to the Clarity Crafts website, which is at the bottom, which says claritycrafts.com. When you go to the website, you'll see a little button that says Clarity TV. If you click on that button, it showcases all the products that Deborah's going to be sharing during this hour and the 2 o'clock show. Now, there's bundles in there. They're available individually, all the ink pads and everything else. So you can have a look there. And also in that area, you've got a button that says Catch Up and Craft.
Yeah.
If you click on that, what that will do, that will take you to another area on the website where all of our previous Clarity TV shows are. And if there are any demos done during those hours, you can download the demos.
Yeah.
Okay. So if we have a look on the overhead, so Debs has prepared these for us for the first hour. So these are all available for you to download and keep to your computer or print them off. So it tells you the date and time of the show, what the product's called, what was made, and then a list of all the ingredients that Deborah's used to create this piece of artwork. So if you're thinking, oh, can't buy just yet, but I can have a look later, then you can go back and have a look at that there. The other way you can order it is by giving the office a call. We're open Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. until 4:30 p.m.
Yep.
And the telephone number for that is 01732 868 215. But you need a product number. So if I bring the details up of the first item that we're going to share with you, so if we have a look here, this is the Village and Harbour A5 stamp set. The 5-digit number at the top, 10961, will take you straight to that product. Or if you're going to call up, you give them that number and they can put that into your basket for you. Then shows the RRP, which is $19.99. You've got a saving on this particular product of £3, bringing it down to $16.99. Then, if you belong to any of our craft clubs, you'll then get an additional either 10, 12.5 or 15%.
Yep.
So if you're a Diamond Club member, that brings this beautiful stamp set down to £14.44, which is really good when you see what's included on there. So I'm going to bring up some details on the screen so you can really see what you're going to get. Do you want to talk us through this, Debs?
Yeah. Actually, I didn't count them. How many stamps? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 stamps.
Wow.
So it's pretty good value, isn't it?
Very good. That's like a pound a stamp if you're not a club member.
Yeah. And it looks at Village and Harbour. It is what it says, Village stamps and Harbour stamps. I always spot the gulls and the boats on this and the little houses and immediately think seaside, but you'll see from the samples we've got that actually they don't have to be, and they're really workable.
Yeah.
For other scenes. Obviously the village ones you can create village. I blogged a card that I'll show when we go through the samples yesterday. deborahscraftyblog.com.
Yeah.
It's on the Clarity Facebook page as well, where actually I used one of the designer cards and turned it into a lakeside scene with a boat.
I suppose, yeah, water. So it could be,
Yeah, I was in Canada last year, and so lots of lakes and people are boating all the time and doing stuff. And I thought, oh yeah, that's fantastic. You just need to look at them differently and just think about the stamps. So we've got lots of
ideas on there.
Thank you. Losing the ability to speak.
We'll have a look at some artwork for that in a moment. But what I wanted to share with you now, this is the Royal Collection.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to bring the details up on the screen. I'm going to do a full pack shot because this is made up of 1, 2, 3, 4 stamp sets. You're going to get 4 beautiful postcards, and there's a brand new one in there, which is the royal sentiments. Now, we'll have a look at these stamps in a little bit more detail, but you'll notice here on the screen, you have a £10.99 saving, which is the equivalent of getting one of those stamp sets for free. And there's a reason for that, which we'll talk about shortly. Once the stock on this bundle has gone, it has gone.
Yeah.
Okay. So if we come back to, I'm going to bring up the, there's the names. Hang on, where's that one gone? That's changed its number. Bear with me for a moment.
Technology is wonderful, isn't it?
There it is. It's that one there. There we go.
Excellent.
12144. So if we have a look at the stamps individually, we'll go on the overhead on this. Okay. So if we start off with this, there's no artwork for this because when we launched these just before the coronation 2 years ago, it was one of those ones, right, we need to do it, we need to do it. And we turned it around so quickly and it didn't go out to the design team. So let's have a look on this one here. So this is your royal gnomes. Available individually, item number 11599. And this one is £11.74. If I bring that one over there we go.
And if we have a look at what you actually get in the set, I love these. I fell in love with these. So you get your stamps.
Yeah.
There are here, which are here. So 5 stamps.
Yeah.
Your 3 characters, a little Union Jack border, and celebrate.
Yeah.
So great to use as they are. Plus you get masks for each of your 3 royal gnomes.
Yeah.
And then the 2 postcards, one coloured and one black and white that you could colour yourself.
And it gives you some sort of
on the back
inspiration, doesn't it? What you can do, because you could use that border to frame it and exactly like that.
The postcards have got all 5 of the stamp images on them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's that one, and that one will always be available. So that's the Kiss by Clarity Royal Gnomes A6 stamp mask and postcard set. Then we have the next set, which is we've called this the Coronation Bunting. Because it was brought out at the time, but there's no really reference to the coronation on this particular stamp set. So the item number for that is 11596. I'm going to go back to that complete collection there.
So again, this is great. Four stamps in this set. There's no mask with this one. There's the stamps and the postcard. Yeah. Again, which is blank on the reverse. But these are great. So these 2 stamps go together to build the Union Jack.
Right.
And I just thought these would be great for VE Day.
Yeah. Or any sort of like
any kind of celebrations.
Yeah.
But I love this frame as well that goes around them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's really good. So I made some bunting.
Debbie got ahead on the party theme.
I did. So I made a strip of bunting.
Yes, that's fantastic. I love that.
Really easy. I don't normally do stuff like this.
And I said, so you've cut all those out. I said, you've got to scan and cut, haven't you? One of those digital cutting machines. She went, no, I did it all by hand.
I did them by hand. It's really easy because it's actually quite
let's come in close
let's flip that behind it. Might just make it easier to see.
There we go.
Wait for it to
just
settle.
come in. There we go.
Yeah, so as long as you just follow the line, it's actually all straight lines.
Yeah.
So I just sat one evening, and so there are seven flags here, if you like.
Yeah.
And I got them all out of one piece of the
8.5 by 11.
8.5 by 11 stencil card.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Super. So that is that set there. So this is
perfect if you've got VE Day parties planned or anything like that. Then these are perfect.
Super. Okay. Then we've got this one. This is called the Coronation Celebration. So this is the one really that it works beautifully, and Deb's going to explain exactly about this. So if we bring this one in on the overhead now, so the item number for this one is 11597, and you'll notice that this one has the details of the King's coronation, which you can see from the image on the front of the packaging. However, you don't have to use it.
You don't have to use it because they're all separate stamps. So you can use this for alternate shape bunting or on card toppers. Yeah. Again, you've got the skyline here, and then the 2-part stamps that make up the the Union flag in the middle.
Yeah. So we've only got a limited amount of stock of this because obviously we're not going to remake it again because obviously it's got reference to the coronation. So that's why that complete bundle you've got on your screen, which is 12144, the saving of £10.99 means basically you're getting this one for free.
Yeah.
So that brings it down to £32.72. If you're a Diamond Club member, it's £27.81.
And the postcard in this set actually doesn't have reference to coronation on
No.
it, so it's very usable.
So you can see
again
exactly
as well.
what it looks like, can't you, without that going around the outside. Okay, so that's that one. And then finally, this was an idea from the lovely Deborah. So this is a brand new stamp set. I'm going to bring the details
I'm very
up on
excited
the screen
about
for
these,
this
which
one.
is I'll probably.
Okay, that one there. There we go. So this is the Kiss by Clarity Royal Sentiments A6 square stamp set, 12147, £9.99.
So I was playing with the gnomes, and thinking these would make fantastic children's cards.
Yes.
And then I was thinking, well, we could do with some sentiments. So I emailed Barbara, said, "What do you think? Here's some thoughts." And the next thing I know, a pack of sentiment stamps dropped through my letterbox, which is fantastic.
Let's zoom in a little bit more.
So these go with I did the sentiments to go with the royal gnomes, really, but they work for lots of things. So we've got birthday king and birthday queen, king of the castle, queen for a day, here's a birthday salute, and if the crown fits, wear it.
Nice.
But actually, when I was making them, I thought they'd work for anybody really for birthday. If you've got a big birthday you want to celebrate, then they're fantastic little images.
And you've got all those tiny little icons.
All these accents. I mean, Jazz is just brilliant at this stuff, isn't she?
So perfect for using with your stamp pens.
Exactly. And a frame that, so if the frame fits, use it.
There we go. And this is a piece of artwork. Look,
here's one I did earlier.
This. I love this.
My little guardsman gnomes. Because you get a mask with the gnome set, so I just masked off. His bear skin's looking a bit threadbare, actually. But yeah, the three of them. Here's a birthday salute, and I'm very proud of this. I don't know if we can we get it on the, is it going to show up on the camera? But their boots are shiny.
Tilt it
that way.
There we go.
Their boots are shiny because I went over them with an embossing pen and then heat embossed them with clear powder. I was very proud of those.
That's lovely.
I just think these are fantastic images. As soon as I saw them, I was like, yes, we can do stuff with those. And now we've got the matching sentiments as well. They're really, really usable.
So we've got the details of that brand new stamp set on the screen. Item number 12147, £9.99 plus your relevant club discounts. If you want to take advantage of that complete collection, item number 12144. Okay, so what we'll do we want to look at some artwork for the village, or do you want to go straight to a demo? Because I'm wary of the time, it's past.
I can do one quick demo and then we can look at artwork while I set up the second one.
Yep,
because I've got a couple using the village.
Okay, I'm going to go over to this camera over here. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring up, if you love those little gnomes, we also have them in Groovy. So for all you parchers out there, item number 42077. £9.99, it's an A5 square, and you can see exactly, you've got that same border. We'll go that way. That same border which you can extend, because you've got let's celebrate, you've got let's party, we've got celebrate, we've got the gnomes, the king, the queen, the Union Jack, you've got the bunting on there as well. So maybe you haven't seen that, but that would work exactly how Deborah's just shown us those little guardsmen. You could do exactly the same, but in Groovy. So that's the details there. And one other thing I just wanted to bring up, many of you tuning in. So we've got Barbara's new online 123 course, which is the stamping, landscapes and stamping. Barbara did the very first pre-record yesterday, ahead of going live on the 7th of May. The item number for that is 60222. There's no club discounts on that, but you'll get a special discount on the items that are are in the booklet of what's going to be used.
There's a code in the booklet,
There is
isn't there?
indeed,
And then when you
yes.
put your order in, you add that additional code, which is
And it
on
takes,
top of your
yes, you
club
get your club
discount.
discount, and then you'll get your additional 10% discount on there as well. I nearly said the code. Mustn't say
don't
the code.
say the code.
Mustn't say the code. Okay, Debs, what are we going to look at?
Okay, I thought we'd do a simple one to start with, which I've called Dad's Boat.
Nice.
Just thinking about Father's Day, but it doesn't have to be. And just thinking about how using up some offcuts of paper.
Yeah.
Scrap some bits. I don't know about friends at home, but I've got loads of offcuts.
You have,
but particularly the 8x8 papers that I then cut down maybe to fit on a 6x6 card, and I've got strips left.
Yeah.
And they can sit there for ages, but actually, how do you use them up and make best use of them? So I've done this small card, which is just a 5x5 card. Let me pop that out of the way so I don't ink it up. Simply using a bit of Antarctica paper and the seagull and the boat.
Okay.
Nice and easy to start.
Debs has used. It's on that downloadable demo sheet, but it's also on the Clarity Crafts. I'll get my.
See, you're at it now.
It's your fault.
Sorry, it's catching.
The claritycrafts.com website.
Okay, so this is the piece of Antarctica paper that it originates off. It's this little bit out in the corner here. What I've obviously done, because I've got a couple of strips of this in there, is trimmed it down to use this corner here, probably.
Yes.
Yeah, but it left me with this bit. And I thought, do you know what? That looks like a coastline.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Doesn't it?
Stormy seas.
Yeah, one of those kind of craggy cliffs just with the tide washing in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought, right, well, then we'll make use of it.
I'm just going to move you
I'm
over
sorry,
a little bit.
I'm not in the right place.
There we go.
Okay, let's quick bit of stamping.
I'm just going to come in so we can really see that. There we go.
So you know by now, I like to line up my stamps on my paper and then use my Clarity Mega Mount as a guide to make sure I can go back down in the same place. Let me move that out of the way before I get ink all over it. So I've sit clean and dry stamp, obviously.
Yes,
yeah,
not
one you've just used. Ask me how I know. Yeah. So I'm just going to line that up on there, and yeah, you can see on the camera. I'm lining it up so the etchings here are equidistant on the side of the paper. It doesn't so much matter with this because you know you can get down quite easily by eye. Right, I have my ink.
Black Archival.
Black Archival.
Oh,
it's my go-to.
Yeah.
If you're not sure about your inking, then stamp it down on copy paper to test it first. I'm going to take a breath and go for it. I may live to regret this. Thanks, Paul. Phew.
Lovely.
Okay.
And what I'm going to do, Debs, I'm going to pop that onto there.
Thank you very much.
And that'll keep it in focus because it's trying to focus on the black area.
And then we'll pop a seagull that looks like it's coming in to land on the, well, they're so-and-sos, aren't they? And they're always...
They are indeed.
If you're around, they think there might be something interesting. So they think somebody might have been fishing or something. So...
We get a lot of seagulls in Edenbridge.
Get a lot in London.
There was a thing on the news, I think it was last year, and the reason that they're coming more inland is because of the fishing. And all the fishing where it's not being controlled, so to speak. So there's not so much fish for them to catch. And obviously not many people going to the seaside as people used to. So they're just coming further inland
where the food
to find food. Yeah.
It's funny, it made me think it's the London Marathon this Sunday.
I
was down watching a few years ago and I'd walked along Embankment and just got a bacon roll or something from one of the food vans. I sat on a bench and something smacked me in the head and this flipping great seagull made off with my bacon sandwich. I was not happy. And then had the audacity to sit on the wall and eat it in front of me. It's outrageous. Outrageous. Anyway, sorry, back to crafting. I'll get cross otherwise. So 2 stamps. Onto that. Okay, I've got a scene now. My boat, I've shaded them in with just with grey polychromos.
Okay.
Just a bit of shading on the gull and on the boat.
Okay.
But the boat looks slightly like it's floating in midair.
Sort of as if it's waves hit it and it's sort of gone up in the air.
Right, sorry, I could not see my pergolina pencils for love nor money then. Pergolinas, my go-tos, which are also on the website.
Yeah, item number 70063.
These are brilliant. And you can see I love these and use them a lot because they're all
well used.
you can see the colours I go to most often. Right, I'm going to take this darker bluey lilac-y colour.
Okay.
That just
and there's two
matches
different types of pencils. You've got a wax base and a watercolour base. And you're using a wax-based one because it's white writing.
Yes. So they've got the white writing and they're B numbers.
Yeah.
Whereas the aqua ones are A numbers.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just going to do this quickly, but so I want the boat to look like it's in water.
I'm going to zoom in a little closer.
I'm being a bit scribbly with this, but it doesn't matter. So let's just blend a bit of colour in there. Everybody's
so you're sort of
sitting
closing the gap, aren't you?
Yeah,
really?
I'm taking the water, this water here, up around the boat. Everybody's probably sitting looking at it thinking, what is she doing? Because it does look a bit of a Horlicks at the moment, I'll accept. Bring it down a bit. Okay.
Yeah.
Now this is where the magic happens.
Okay.
So Dorso oil.
Aha. Yeah.
Which is why I use the B pencils and not the A pencils.
Right. Okay.
So the Dorso oil, which the Parchers will know about, is really good for blending and distributing colour.
Yeah.
And use it on the back of parchment to add the colour, but it works on papers as well.
It does, yeah. Barb's often using it on cardstock.
Yeah, you can see I use this sponge already. So just a dot on the sponge. It means it's going to smell nice in here. It's a kind of, I don't know, it's like
citrus.
Citrusy
Yeah, citrus
flavour. So
flavour.
well, one of the blending nibs, and you just dab it on the sponge, and then you can use it to smooth out and distribute the colour you've just laid down.
Okay. Now, when we're looking at this, Deb, you can see, or I can see, it looks as if the oil is bleeding into the paper.
Yes.
It is, but what happens is that when it dries, it evaporates.
Yeah.
So don't be worried that if you're doing this and you're thinking, oh,
let me come right over here, look.
Yeah, and it's gone all oily because obviously it's Dorso oil. It will evaporate and disappear.
And the nice thing is it gives your colouring a really soft edge.
Yes.
That'll take a few minutes to evaporate out. When it's dry, you can go back in and add some more. I'd wait for the oil to have evaporated before I try and colour over it. But actually what that means now is that I've got water around my boat.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is what I did on this one as well.
See,
and you can see how it's evaporated.
Yeah, you can definitely
but actually
see
the
that.
colours, you can see if you look really closely, but actually the colours now blend into the
Antarctica paper.
The Antarctica paper.
Yeah,
so,
that's really lovely.
So actually you can move it up.
You can bring more colour in. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, quick and easy.
That's
really,
I like that.
Really easy to do.
And it's just a scrap of the Antarctica paper that you had in your stash.
Yeah.
2 of the stamps of the 17 from that Village and Harbour collection. Item number 10961. A few colouring pencils, some Dorso oil. And then it just needs a little bit of a finishing touch then,
it does. So to frame it, I've bordered it.
Right.
But that's not a whole piece of paper behind it because we've all got bits of offcuts. Here I go. Well, you know.
Deb doesn't throw anything away and you'll see why. And this actually makes perfect sense, what I've just seen, what Deb's going to share with you. Okay.
So I found another offcut.
Yeah.
This is one of the Antarctica companion papers.
Right.
So you know the colours are going to match.
Yeah.
Because they're pulled together. And then all you do is a couple of strips and glue it either side on the back there. So you don't need a full panel behind it.
No. That's so obvious now. I wouldn't have even considered that.
And because it's paper, if it was card
that
I was putting behind it, I probably need to put some white scrap card, and you know I've got a load of that as well, down the middle here so that this was flat. But because it's paper, you don't get a ridge or a bump. And so that's just 2 narrow strips of paper that are glued on either side of the and then a pinky grey word
Pinky
sticker.
grey sticker. Or
And
you
that's
could
it.
use our new stickers as well.
There's those new birthday greetings. Yeah, I've just picked up a pack of those today
you could go with the woodblock ones would be quite lovely, wouldn't they? You've got the woodblock ones.
They're nice. Yeah.
31781.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've got those ones. I think they're so new. I haven't even got them in my studio. In the studio. Or if they were, they've disappeared. So
well, fabulous. There's so much choice now in the word stickers. You can kind of make them for any occasion. But that's literally all that card is.
Nice. That's lovely.
And it just uses up some of your offcuts of paper.
Yeah.
And sometimes I find it really difficult to use the ones that have got a bigger area of white on.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, because you want really
because you
colour,
kind of think
you?
you're going for colour, but actually you can use this just as the scene at the edge.
That's really, really nice. That's beautiful. And so you could put any sentiment on there. You've got love to you, Dad. You could take some of those sentiments from the brand new Royal Sentiment stamp sets as well. That would work just as well.
Definitely. Definitely.
So what I'll do, while Debs is having a bit of a tidy up and getting ready for the next one, I'm going to show you some artwork, and I'm going to swap over to the other camera. So this is a piece of artwork that Barbara has created. This has been done on coated card with a brayer. So now you've got that lovely church, you've got the wishing well, you've got the little geese. This is a lovely one from Barbara. This is using alcohol inks on stencil card.
That's gorgeous.
That's really lovely. And it really flows in with that lovely landscape theme at the moment.
Totally, but there are quite a few of the landscape papers that you could use then to achieve that effect.
Yeah. We've got a lovely shaker card here from D. Look at that. And you can see how all those houses have been built up. And it gives you that real sort of seaside look, doesn't it? I'm sure that's somewhere like in Cornwall or Devon. Then we've got another piece of artwork here. Let me just have a look. So we've got the seagulls. Who's on this one? This one is from Linda Spencer. So there we go. Oh, that was Jane's frame, that one. I remember that one.
Oh, yeah, the Jane Nesterenko frame. Yes.
Then, this is one that I did. Wow. Okay.
Go on then.
There we go. So that was one that I did back in the day.
So they don't have to be summer.
No.
You can make more Christmassy, wintry.
Let it snow. Yeah.
And friends who look at Clarity Worldwide or look at my blog will know I'm trying to make a Christmas card every week through the year, so it's not such a mad rush in December. And I quite like repurposing stamp sets just to look at things differently, get maximum value out of stuff.
This make a lovely wedding card as well. We could have the geese, optional.
Well, I think that looks Christmassy as well, with that darker sky. It's beautiful.
Now this one, I'm going to take these away. This is one by D. Okay, and what I'm going to do, see if I can get this one. It's like a stepper card.
It's brilliant.
So like if I lay that flat, if I do it that way, you can see how you've got the depth to it. That is lovely, that stepper card. Then we've got another one here, no name. I reckon this could be a Barb one, I reckon. There we go, we've got another one there. Then, I mean, that's some steeple on that little church, isn't it? I'm surprised.
But you're right, it's great for wedding cards.
Yeah, I'm surprised that steeple stands, that the building underneath hasn't collapsed.
Not like that. Is it Chesterfield that's got the twisted spire because of the way they put the roof tiles on? So the spire looks like it's twisting.
And we've got this one from Deborah Wheeler. So that's using the Shenandoah, is that one?
No, it's Amazonia.
Is it Amazonia?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that's the one I blogged yesterday.
Right. Okay.
Just reminded me of kind of Canadian lakes.
Yeah.
But it's just
got a little bit of subsidence on that, don't you reckon?
On those houses, slightly. Thank you. Nice, isn't
it? Sinking into the water.
It's disappearing.
The reason
rising water levels is climate change, Paul. That's what it is.
It's because those houses are on they're actually on a slant,
on a hill.
Aren't they?
Yes.
So yeah. But no, I like it.
Thank you.
A talking point.
I think.
so that is that one, that collection there. The item number is 10961. So Debs, It's because I've got a jumper on.
Is it the new teeth?
I'm having a
I thought it
tropical
might be the
moment.
new teeth.
The new teeth, no. So we're going to concentrate on this set of stamps again for the next demo. So the Village and Harbour. And Deb's has used another set of stamps, which we'll talk about in a moment. Okay. There we go.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, so this is fairly standard stamping on this card. As Paul said, using the houses, which are on a hill this time. You'll be able to see there's a slope. The boats, a bit of masking as well. We'll talk about that. My favourite clown's mask. And then I've used a texture stamp for the water effect.
Ah, some of our mixed impressions.
Using the mixed impressions. And these are appropriately enough. This set is appropriately enough by the seaside.
It is indeed.
And I used...
you used that one, didn't you?
I did, that one. Just the top end of that one and just randomly stamped it across. Just because I wanted a bit of patterning in the water. But there are lots of texture stamps.
There are.
And it's a great way with masks to actually just ramp it up a bit, I suppose.
Just put like a random background. And obviously these are printed in black, so it looks a lot more harsh. But what Deb's has done, she's used the blue. So the item number for this is 10913. This is normally $39.99. We've got a special price. It's half price because these are big stamps. This is an A5 stamp. So that would normally be $19.99. That would be $19.99. But the special price is $19.99. So you're buying that and you're getting that one for free. And if you're a club member, that brings it down to, let me have a look on my other list, £16.99 if you're a Diamond Club member. So there we go. So we're going to come back to Deb's now on that one. Okay.
Okay. So I want to talk about a couple of techniques that I used on this, because the first is that I've extended the houses.
Oh, right.
So that's the house stamp there, and then I've added an extra one in at the end.
Ah, okay.
But the aim is to get a joined up line there.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can do it.
Okay, I'm sure you can. You've done it once before, so
yeah,
I'm sure
I know,
you
but
can
that's
do
the
it again.
thing. It's always fun repeating it, isn't it? Okay, I've just got a piece of stencil card. I think this is 5x5. I cut this to.
Okay.
So it will fit on a 6x6 card blank. So I'm using my favourite technique of lining it up on the card where I want it, and then using this is the 5x5 mega mount.
So it's the same size as the piece of card.
It's the same size as the card, so I'm literally going to line up the mega mount over the card.
Okay.
And then, with any luck, God willing and a fair wind,
it'll be fine.
my stamp will be where I intended it. It's only a piece of card, isn't it? It's got another side to it.
There's nobody watching anyway, so it doesn't matter.
And we'll edit it out if it doesn't work.
We can just say,
What's to worry about?
Exactly.
Okay, archival ink again.
Yeah.
Okay, I can just about manage to span a 5x5 mega mount with my delicate hands. Delicate ladylike hands.
Yes.
Okay, all right, let's stamp that down. I don't know why, I'm always paranoid on TV when I'm
of course,
live,
it's the pressure, isn't it? I think this goes back to sort of like the Mini Makes Facebook page. If you know, Barb often says it, have one for test and one for best, and it takes away the pressure.
There we go.
Of
That's good enough.
One perfect every single time, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So.
Right. So it doesn't go all the way across the card.
Yeah.
So I want to stamp another house here and join the lines up.
Okay.
Okay. The danger is if you overstamp the line too much, you get a really thick, blodgy line.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's my favourite clarity accessory, Paul?
Could that be some low tack tape that you don't throw away?
No, this is a new bit.
Oh, it's a new bit. Okay.
Make the point. So I'm just gonna pop it over there. So I've just got the edge of that line.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which means I can go further along, but I'm not going to get a really fat line along there.
I get that. Yeah.
Okay. Right. Let me stamp that off. Follow your own advice, Deb. Make sure your stamp's clean and dry. Okay. So let's line that up there. So I can just see that little house at the edge, and I'm lining it up with this line on the houses.
Yeah. So if you wanted more houses, if you was doing like a DL card or
Yeah.
something, that you could easily extend couldn't
it
you?
right out. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Right. Let me. I'm going to line this up there on my mount.
Okay.
Okay. Let's ink it up again. I don't need to ink the whole stamp.
No.
I only want this end of it. Right, and then if you can stop your hands shaking, you're always in a good place, aren't you? Okay, so I'm lining up top and bottom of my mount now.
Yeah.
Let me come out a bit so I can see where I want that house. Okay, right. Deep breath and go for it.
Just remember, it's only a piece of card.
Exactly.
That's
I've got
all
one
it
I did
is.
earlier, so I think that's gone slightly off, but that's not unhelpful because we
So
can then
there's a
talk
step
about
on the
how you
curb.
rescue it.
There's a
Yeah.
step on the curb.
Okay, I have got a slight step there,
Yeah.
but that's okay because
Micron
pen. So all you need to do is just go over it and draw the line in so that you haven't got a hard edge on your line. You've just got a bit of a fatter wall there.
Yeah, and that actually works because you've got the space between the two houses. It doesn't look odd. I mean, we know that's there because obviously we've
And there's
seen you
nothing else on the
create it.
card at the moment.
Yeah.
You won't see it once.
So, and because we've seen you create it, we know that's where we're going to be drawn to.
Yeah, but that's quite a helpful way. If I'd tried to line the whole of that
Yes, it would have
line
been a
on the
lot
stamp,
harder.
it would have been
definitely.
really obvious.
Yeah.
Okay, so having done that,
Yeah.
I stamped up. I coloured them as well on this one just for speed.
Nice.
So I've added in the tree.
Yeah, and you've got
Done
tree
the
in
set,
two
the
different
little tree.
sizes in that stamp
Yeah.
set, haven't you?
Yes, I think this is the little. This is the
It is the
smaller of
little
the
one.
trees.
Yeah.
Okay, I put that horrible seagull
Big
that nicked me
bird.
bacon sandwich down at the front, just waiting to pounce.
Okay.
And I stamped two of the little rowing boat.
Right.
Stamped that twice.
Okay, so I've got a question.
Yes.
This stamp set doesn't come with masks.
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
So I have cut my own masks.
Right.
And I don't know where they are.
They're there.
No, that's
No,
my blank
the
bit.
masks are on there. You stuck them on already.
Yeah, I know, but I need another mask for my other rowing boat.
Okay.
I've lost my packet, Paul. Talk among yourselves.
Talk amongst yourself. So let's just go to pack shop.
Apologies.
So this is the stamp set Debs is about to use next, which is item number 10913, By the Seaside. Basically, it's half price. That's normally $39.99 or 98, and the special price is $19.99. If you're a Diamond Club member, it brings it down to $14.44. And then the stamp set that Debs is using to create that scene is the lovely Village and Harbour. Okay, are we good to go?
Yes, I found them. It was in the box from my previous demo.
Okay.
So what I've done actually for this set is I've cut myself masks. So this one fits the other line of houses.
Yes.
This one fits that line of houses that I've stamped here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've cut the seagull. I've cut two rowing boats. In fact, I've cut a third.
Okay.
Because I'm going to do this one now. To make your own masks, the blank mask material is just perfect. It's really helpful. Yeah. The one tip about it is you can't stamp on this stuff because it's plastic, and you'll have to wait a month for your ink to dry. The other thing is, so the next thing you'd think is, well, I could stamp on the. Oh, apologies, I'm up too far up the screen. You could stamp on the carrier sheet. That'd be fine, and then my backing paper's the right size. Yeah. But that's slightly plasticized as well.
Yeah.
And
so then it'd probably stick on the back of the mask then, wouldn't it?
Exactly. And also, actually, you want a bigger piece to store your mask on.
Yeah.
Rather than chopping it all up. So the answer is just a scrap bit of paper, an offcut.
Yeah.
And all you need to do, I'll just show you for the stamping purposes.
So if you want those blank masks, we've got a pack of A5. Item number for that is 30363.
Stamp it on a bit of copy paper. I
Yeah.
keep all my invoices from Clarity and the promotion slips that come in our orders and things. That's all my scrap paper. Reuse it all.
You must have a lot of
Terrible.
scrap paper.
Shh, not supposed to say that.
I'm sure many of our friends at home have probably got lots of scrap paper if they're using.
And then moving back to this, I would have cut this smaller. I've got a bigger bit here. But actually, you just line that up over it so you can see your image through it.
Yeah.
Cut out and round it, and then peel the copy paper off the back, and then it will go back on your carrier sheet.
And then the stamped image on the piece of copy paper you just throw away.
Just chuck away. Yeah, you can chuck that bit away.
Yeah. There you go. Or you could colour it in and stick it on a card.
You can...
If your name's Deborah Wheeler.
I don't know. I don't think I'd do that. Well, I don't know. I might have to try that now. So you set me thinking.
Whenever Deborah creates a mask now, then you're going to keep the piece of copy paper. Copy paper is definitely better because it's easier to cut with a pair of scissors.
It is.
Rather than think,
it's flexible.
Yeah, rather than think, oh, I like that idea, I'm going to stamp it onto card. It's doable depending on the stamp. But if you do it on copy paper, then it's a lot easier to cut out.
I'm just going to stamp my third rowing boat in.
Okay.
So I can overlap with one of the others because I've masked it off. Yeah.
Okay.
You know, the other thing I thought about afterwards, because you get dolphins and things off Cornwall, don't you? In the some of the wee stamps, we've got the dolphins, we've got like sea creatures and that.
There's wee fish, isn't there? And there's wee marine, I think.
Wee marine, that'd be it. So you could you could always mask off a bit and pop a dolphin
of course you could.
coming out as well. I only thought about that after. Right, here's one I did earlier.
Yeah.
And then I'll just lay it over. There we go. Okay, right. I'm going to, just for ease, because I've got an extra house here that I haven't got a mask for.
Right.
I'm just going to run low tack tape along this line here.
So using one of your favourite essentials.
I do, absolutely.
Item number 31212.
We sell it at a very reasonable price.
We do indeed. I mean,
what's not to like?
If you want one roll, the item number, Deb never goes for one roll. If you want one roll, the item number is 31211, and that's £2.99. However, if you want to go for 4 rolls, item number 31212, £11.96 down to £8.96, so £3 saving.
Excellent, absolute bargain. Right.
Stencil brushes.
Stencil brushes.
Nice.
I'm using oxides on this mainly because that's what most of my ink stash is. I seem to have built them up over the years and fewer inks. I've got to start buying distress inks now. So this is Salty Ocean for the sea, which is
appropriate.
Yeah, my favourite one is Broken China. Salty Ocean is just a bit of a darker blue.
Yeah.
I'm going to use Broken China for the sky.
Okay.
Which is my go-to. So I'm just going to, you pick up the ink on your brush if you've not used these before, dust a bit off onto the copy paper so you don't get it all smeary, I suppose. And then work lightly doing this just from side to side. You just want a bit of a wash down in the background.
Okay.
It's quite appropriate really for water, isn't it?
And also, I mean, it depends on how wet your ink pad is as well, doesn't
Exactly.
it? So it's a good idea to test it as you've gone on that piece of scrap.
It always gives you an idea of how much you've picked up.
Yeah.
And as Barb says, you can always add it, but you can't take it away. So you can go in with more if you want to deepen it. But I'm going to leave it at that because I want to stamp in my
seaside stamp,
my water effect.
So this is the mixed impressions that Debs is using on this one.
These bigger stamps, if you're doing texture stamping like this, actually you can do it without a mount.
Barb often does that, especially on the larger ones.
Because you can get softer images with it.
Yeah.
And the other thing that's quite nice is you can do it second generation as well. So first generation is when you've inked it up. Second generation, you stamp it off on copy paper and then stamp it on here. You don't get such a hard colour.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to do this randomly, which I always find really difficult. I always drop into a pattern. But anyway, let's see if I can manage it.
I mean,
so I've just inked it up. Go on.
Yeah, I was going to say these mixed impressions are great for creating this type of sort of background, isn't it? Because it is so random.
I've just stamped it off, and look, it just lines up really nicely on here. So I'm getting really bad at lining up with the camera. Let's go there, about there.
And so your boats are protected with your mask.
Exactly.
Your houses,
My houses
are protected with the low tack tape.
There we go. And you just get a nice textured effect in the water. And then I'll just come back over this other side.
Yeah, because I mean, how else would you do that? I mean, I
don't know. I was thinking originally, you know, could I use a stencil? And then I thought, oh, I haven't really got any kind of water. Not like we've got the clouds. But I tell you what, I did think about subsequently would work for this is actually I want to come in this way round. Let me put a bit of copy paper on the top there just in case.
Okay.
I'm going to bring it in because it's if you look at the stamp, it's kind of, there's not quite an edge there, but almost, but then it's more random patterns here. So they're easier to blend together. So let's just turn it upside down and drop it in there.
Because you've used the oxide, you don't have to worry about, am I going to put it here? Am I going to put it there?
No,
because it's good. It's a slow drying ink, isn't it?
Right. There we go. That'll do. I'll turn that over and then we can see. There we go.
What a difference that makes. Just that little bit
puts that bit of depth and texture.
Yeah. Really, really nice. I like that.
So the other thing then is to do the sky.
Yeah.
So my favourite clouds mask.
So this is part of, I mean, the cloud mask is available individually, but Debs is also going to be using the Castle and Bunting mask in the next demo. And if you like those, and you've got that set of masks just there, and the set of masks is item number 30150. $17.99, special price of $14.99.
So these are like a line of clouds across.
Yes.
But I tend not to use it like that. I like to break it up and just use portions of it.
Yeah.
I think it looks a bit more realistic.
Natural.
If that's the thank you, that's the word. Okay. And you don't need a lot of ink for this. You don't. Well, you can if you want a really dark blue, heavy sky, but I just want an effect of a sky.
Okay.
So, and I'm working upwards off the
mask. Okay.
But just lightly. When you've got the mask on, you kind of think, oh, I don't know if I've got any on there. But peel it off. There we go.
And at this point, it doesn't look anything. It just looks, oh, that's a bit weird. So like one of those kapow.
Hey, yeah, you could make one of those with it, couldn't you? I might have to have a go at that. So I'm not coming right across to those previous clouds. See? Let's put this bit in here. And I haven't re-inked my brush. I'm just staying with the ink that I've got on here. Mind you, my brush is pretty well inked because I don't ever clean them.
I mean, this cloud mask is one of my favourite.
Oh, I
masks.
use it. I use it so often. I haven't bothered masking the houses because I'm going to stay above them. There we go. Nice cloudy sky. That's probably enough, actually. I might just brush dust in from the side.
Just to take the whiteness away.
Just to take that whiteness down a bit. Just lightly. That's it. That's it.
So effective, isn't it?
It's so easy. Let me get rid of that inky. Oh no, you can't see that very well.
Get you a clean piece.
It's not too much ink on it, but it just puts that lovely effect in the sky.
That's really nice.
And then if you peel the masks off your bird and boats, There you go. He's nice and white.
He's nice and white.
You can just highlight them with a grey pencil.
Yeah.
And then colour your boats, whatever colour you want them in. And I did the houses just with my pergoliners, but those, because you get those lovely pastel coloured
colours,
seaside cottages. This one I did with a bit more primary colour in it. But it's up to you, isn't it? It's choices.
Yeah. Wow, that's lovely.
And then I've used the occasions
stamp set, which is all on that ingredients list.
Yeah, happy birthday, and then one of the sub-sentiments. And then a black card mount and a 6x6 card blank.
That's lovely.
And it's done.
Yeah, and that could be for any occasion, couldn't it? Could be bon voyage, happy birthday, happy anniversary.
Holidays.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or happy Father's Day.
Yeah, definitely.
If you wanted to. Yeah, so really nice and simple, just with a bit of masking.
Yeah.
And then using a texture stamp just to fill in the water.
That really makes a big difference.
Huge.
Because initially when I saw the piece of artwork, when you emailed it through, I didn't look at the ingredients to start with. I thought, oh, you've spritzed. I thought that's how you created that sort of like that mottled effect. But that stamp just makes it so much easier, doesn't it?
Much easier. Yeah. It's just finding the right stamp. I mean, you know, water is just a mottled texture anyway. Yeah. So
super.
Cool.
Okay.
All right.
Right. Do you want to clear up and then we'll go all royal?
We shall.
We'll go all royal. Okay. So let me bring some details up on the screen. So this stamp set that Deb's been using, so she only used a couple of those stamps from there, and we looked at some artwork earlier. The item number is 10961. It's a Village and Harbour A5 stamp set. Usually £19.99. You have a £3 saving, bringing it down to £16.99. But there's so many uses on it. You've got the rose, sort of like I love it. I really do. And that church, perfect for weddings. You've got the seagulls, you've got the birds, you've got even that little row of houses to give it the perspective, which is great for what Barb's doing at the moment with the landscapes and that new online course. So you can still sign up for that. The item number for the online course is 60222. If you go to the website and put that item number in, then what you'll find is read the product description. It explains exactly what is going to be covered in that 123 online course. There's also a list of ingredients that you can download and tick off and say, oh, maybe, but don't buy anything. If you think, oh, I need to get this, I need to get that, wait until you buy the online course. When you receive that, and we'll send them out as really quickly. When you get that, inside that booklet is a code, and that will give you 10% off that. There's a whole section that you can go and have a look at. It's like a brand shop for that 123 course. So get your booklet. It has that special code, which is exclusive to the online course members. If you're a club member, you'll get your club discount first on anything you buy within that area, and then you'll get an additional 10% off as well. So don't think, oh, I need to get this, I need to get. Don't buy it until you buy the course and you get the booklet home. Okay. So the next collection, Debs, we're going all royal. So I'm going to bring the details up on the screen. And as I say, this actual collection where you've got that £10.99 saving, once the
bundle,
that particular stamp set, the circular one has gone, the coronation one, that forms part of that bundle. When the stock of that goes individually, it will take away the bundle as well. Okay. Yeah. So that's why you've got that £10.99 saving. So basically, we're giving you that one for free, but it still has so many uses, even if you don't use the coronation ring, so to speak.
Yeah.
So the item number for that is 12144. Everything is available individually. So the one that Debs is going to be looking at now is the Royal Gnomes, item number 11599.
Yeah. So when I spotted these, I was just like, oh, they're so cute. But as I said before, I thought they'd be brilliant for kids' cards, but for special birthdays as well. Big kids as well.
Definitely.
Big kids as well. And now we've got the new sentiments with them.
Absolutely. I'll bring the details.
What I thought of.
Yeah. The Royal Sentiments, item number 12147, brand new today, £9.99 plus your club discount as well. Okay.
Yeah, so there's 6 sentiments there, plus 8 little accent images and a frame that goes with it as well. So we're starting with King of the Castle.
Lovely.
I just really liked that.
This is
I just
great.
love these little images. They're fantastic. Really easy to do. Just a bit of colouring and some more masking. You know, I love a bit of masking. So, but I just think it's so effective for giving you different background scenes and stuff, and those accents and touches. So here's my little gnome who's been coloured in.
Yeah.
And then I've used the castle and bunting,
which is in that
mask,
collection.
In that collection
masks.
with the clouds mask, which is also on here.
Yeah.
There's his new sentiment.
King of the Castle.
And one of the doodle frame it panel dies. Unfortunately, I didn't check before I made this one, and the lattice is out of stock, but we have got the dots and hearts, haven't we?
The lattice is on order. We placed the order earlier this week, so it'll probably take about 6 to 8 weeks for that to turn up.
I mean, that's the dots one, which is,
I mean, the dots is one of Barb's favourite ones.
Yeah.
It's like, it reminds me of, like, not reminds it get the imagery of it, light bulbs around the mirror.
Oh yes, you know, those like makeup mirrors. Yeah. In the theatre, darling.
In the theatre, darling. Absolutely.
Okay, so shall we break this one down and have a look at what I did?
Okay.
All of these cards will go on my blog as well anyway. That one I just did is teed up. I'll blog that at lunchtime.
Okay.
On deborahscraftyblog.com, but it'll go on the Clarity Facebook page.
Super.
As well. Okay. Right. I've lost my thread. Okay. let's go with these stamps then. So as we said, there are 5 stamps on the set, plus your masks as well.
And your 2 little postcards.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I can give you a tip about mask usage there with that one as well.
Okay.
Yeah, and the 2 postcards. So let's start with Charlie. Don't know why I decided to call him Charlie.
Oh, I suppose it was brought out in celebration for King Charles's coronation, wasn't it?
I give all the names little names, but they usually start with G.
With G?
Like Norbert. With GN. Sorry. Sorry. It's a good job it's on this. We're on the overhead because you couldn't see Paul's face then.
We can cut out,
sorry. They start with a G, but a silent G like gnome.
Gnome, yes.
So Norbert and Norman and.
Right, okay.
But all spelt with a G.
Can know what you mean.
Okay, right. Here's Charlie sat very regally on a piece of the 3.5-inch square stencil card.
Yeah.
One of my go-to bits. I've got a 4x4 mega mount and I'm just lining him up. So look, you can see there. So the etching gives me an inner frame. I just try and make sure it's equidistant.
Yeah.
Round.
Okay.
I do this so often now. I kind of do that without even thinking about it.
It's like having a sort of a universal stamping platform, isn't it? Depending on the size of the mega mount.
Yeah.
And we've got so many different size mega mounts. If you go to the claritycrafts.com website and just put mega mount, 2 words in, and it will bring up all the different sizes we do. I've
got a whole variety of sizes of them because it's really helpful for that positioning as well as the size of your stamp.
And because we make these ourselves, often Barb will design a stamp set and she'll say, oh, I need a mega mount this size, and we can do it.
It's brilliant. It's really good. Right. So I'm literally stamping him in the center of my card.
Okay. And this stamp set also comes with the mask as well, so you haven't got to worry about any fussy cutting or anything like that.
Done. It's such a lovely image.
Can I come in really close?
His crown has got fantastic detail on it with the fleur-de-lis and the little jewels.
Just let that focus. Look at that. That is pure quality of the stamps.
I love it.
It really is.
Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is mask him off so I can then build the background.
Yeah.
So that's the thing to remember about masking if you're new to it. You need to put in place whatever's at the front first.
Yeah.
Cover that up and then build the background around it.
Okay.
Okay, so you've got your little set of 3 masks. And I've worked out a way to line these up, which I think I mentioned last time. Because the Clarity masks have the images printed on them.
Yeah.
So it's like using the infill stamps. So you line up the image. Do you know, because otherwise I spend hours trying to line up the edge and then it's slightly off at the top and, or, you know, one of his ears is poking out.
Yeah.
So what I do now is I use the image on the mask and I line it up on here and I'll see it come into focus. So it's sat directly over my stamp. She says confidently. Come on, line up. There
We're
we go.
holding our breath.
I know. And then if you just let it drop, it'll go
I
on
see.
perfectly.
Okay, so basically you were looking at his nose.
I'm looking at his nose, his beard. I'm lining up this centre bit of the image. I'm not looking at the edges.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, that's another way of doing it, isn't it? So yeah, if that's in the right place, then the rest should.
Yeah,
follow.
and because it then, if it's out of position, it looks slightly blurry because you've got two lines. You can see as soon as it comes into focus and you can only see the one line, you know it's directly over. You can drop it down and then it'll drop into place.
Clever.
That's what I found worked for me.
Okay.
Right. First things first, we're gonna start with Windsor Castle.
Or any other castles are available.
I know, but it looks like Windsor with the round tower, doesn't
it?
So what you want for this is the outer part. And helpfully now our masts are cut across at the
They
side.
are indeed,
We used to have to cut them ourselves, but those days are gone. This is useful because it's got the bunting in as well, which is
perfect
handy
for VE Day. Yeah. And because you've also in that mast set, you've got the rooftops as well, haven't you? Which also has bunting.
Oh, yes.
There's one on there as well.
Okay. These are quite floppy. So if you try and hold it by the top edge, your castle's going to go a bit wonky. Okay. So I tend to kind of grip it in the middle.
Yeah.
Like that. Then I can hold it steady. And then you just decide where you want your castle. Let's have it showing behind him. Not a lot point otherwise. And just lie it down. And then just to be safe, I'm going to put some low tack tape over that top corner.
Okay. Can't believe where this hour's gone already.
I know.
It's absolutely flown.
Sorry, friends, if you're gasping for a coffee. You can always get watchers on catch up as well.
We've still got plenty of friends in the room. I'm sure they can hang on for a few more minutes. What are you after now, Deb?
Sponges.
Sponges? We have the sponges on the show. You can get a pack of 16 sponges, item number 30537. Price for that is £3.99. However, you may want to get 4 packs of those, which give you 64 sponges. Item number 31215, £15.96. Special price of £13.96.
Okay, so yeah, spot on sponge. I've got a clean one, but you know, there's me box of sponges. I just keep them in a box and then I can go to them. They do dry out a bit over time when you've used them for a couple of years. No, not that often because we need you to buy new ones. But you know, they are reusable. It's not used once and throw away.
One-time use.
No, not at all. Okay, I've got 2 inks here. I've got pumice stone, which is pale, and hickory smoke for my grey castle walls. So I'm going to start with the lighter one first, the pumice stone. And I'm just going to sweep down. Am I in the right place? I'm going to sweep down from the top of the mask. The thing about dragging it downwards is you can kind of get that, your castle walls would...
It's like a shadow effect.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good job we're both here between us. We can just about manage to complete a sentence.
I obviously haven't had enough coffee today.
No, that'll be it. That'll be it.
And at this point in time, it doesn't look as if much is going on, but it's the reveal, isn't it, afterwards?
And it's pale.
Yes.
So I'm putting a pale...
It's like an undercoat, isn't it?
That's exactly it. Okay, right, that'll do. And actually, if I peel this back a wee bit... There you go, you can see.
Yeah.
But it's not dark enough for what I want yet.
Okay.
So I'm going to swap to the hickory smoke, which is a darker one. And I want a torn piece of copy paper. Clarity, old school.
Old school, definitely.
Literally just tear a piece of copy paper in half. Actually, I might tear it in a straight line. Sorry, I've just gone across the page. There we go. I'm going to tear it again. I don't need it quite that big. Stop laughing at me.
I'm laughing with you, Deb.
Oh, right.
I'm not laughing at you. I would never do that.
I'll just use the other side of this sponge. Right, hickory smoke. I know this ink pad's quite a lot wetter than my pumice stone one.
Yeah.
Seems to be a production thing with it, but let's just
Oh,
look.
yeah,
You can see
definitely
how
see that. Yeah.
see how wet that is. So I do need to just dab it off well. Right, I'm going to add some shading into the castle walls now.
Okay.
I learnt this technique off Barb. Learnt all my techniques off Barb, apart from the ones I learnt from people like Jane and Sonia. So by holding it like this, you can sweep out sideways and you put the shadow and it starts to add curve and depth to the walls.
That's right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, and most of it's going on the paper and only a little bit on the card.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. So it starts to look down.
So
I'm going to come.
You're sort of adding definition then,
Yeah.
aren't you?
And actually, if you want your walls to look rounder, let's come this way. Right, let's come in here. Sweep it in from the side. You can use the side of the mask as well where you've got it. It's such an easy
It's so
technique.
effective, isn't it?
In fact, this side, I don't need the paper. I can just come in off the mask. So it starts to look. It starts to look
you've started
rounder.
to put dimension to it now, haven't you?
Yeah.
And I'm guessing, Deborah, if you was at home, you would turn your artwork while you're
I would.
doing
I'd be
this, wouldn't
turning.
you? Yeah.
I'd be turning it each way. Hang on. Let's come in from here. That's the other thing is it's just working out where you want your shape on your walls.
Yeah.
I might have gone a bit heavy-handed there, but never mind. Let's just sweep.
That's been reinforced that more.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go that way. Yes, I would. I'd be.
And the only reason I know that is because the way Debs is standing when she's doing it, it's sort of, it doesn't look natural. So I'm sure Debs.
That'll do.
Yeah.
But you get the idea.
Yes.
Okay. I'm also, while I'm here, going to give him some ground to stand on. There's that lovely green at Windsor Castle, isn't there? That lovely green
I've never
square.
been.
Have you not?
I've never been.
You've not seen it on the telly?
Probably, but I'm probably not looking at the grass. I'm probably looking at what's going on. Can't say I've noticed it.
So what have I got? I've got a dark green. I've got rustic wilderness here.
Okay.
They're all on the product list. Go back to my bit of torn copy paper. So I've done it so I can just see his feet.
Yeah.
With the mask, and I'm going to give him some grass to stand on. Exactly the same principle again. Start on the paper and then just sweep. And I'm going almost more sideways than down.
Right.
There we go. Now suddenly you stood on ground. I might put a bit more on there actually. God, it's got warm in here.
Yeah, I know. It seems to do that. I mean, when you're locked in for an hour,
it's all the hot air
all of a sudden,
emitting.
Sometimes it gets,
Better.
and it takes about half an hour, but it will definitely be warmer this afternoon.
Yeah.
I'll open the windows in a moment. Well, I can open them now, and it will let some air in.
Okay, so he's not levitating like a Dalek.
Yeah.
He's got some ground to stand on. So let's just get this mask off. So the other thing I'd say is when you've got a mask over a mask, obviously they'll stick to each other.
Yes.
So you just need to be careful peeling it off, peeling your top one off.
I remember which one went on last.
Yeah. So I'm going to pull like that, and I'm keeping my hand on the gnome mask so I can just hold it down and then just go steady. You don't need to rush this.
I mean, they're quite robust, but they're also quite delicate.
They will tear.
Yes, they will definitely tear if you sort of yank it off like a plaster.
Particularly, I find I have to be careful with the clouds mask where it's got.
There's a dip in one of them, isn't there?
Here where the dips are in.
Yeah.
If you get hold of it and pull it hard, because you're pulling here, the danger is you'll rip it. So you just need to take it across slowly and steadily. But my masks last me for
a long time.
A long time. They're really good. Right. That's my castle in place.
Yeah.
I'm going to swap. I'm just going to mask the castle off. So I've got the other part of the mask.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. just because I don't want to get cloudy. I'm going to put clouds in.
Right.
And
Okay. So you don't want to
because
get the blue
no,
on top of the castle.
so let's just line that up. Again, it's just a case of lining it up because these are laser cut and they're so fine and accurate. Both halves of the mask sit perfectly. There we go. Right, let's get my clouds out. Exactly the same as I did before. Look, let me show you what I was saying about tearing it. If I do that, the danger is it'll
Yes, because that's the
pull
weakest
down.
point, isn't
Yeah,
it?
so you just need to weave it off. Okay. Now I've got 3 masks on here. I'll never get this apart. I'm going to go back in with my broken china, which I've now lost. It's in my box. It's funny, isn't it, how you drop into particular colours for particular jobs. This is my go-to for skies.
The broken china.
I might use tumbled glass if I want a paler one,
Okay.
but 9 times out of 10 I'll go with this. So starting on the mask, same as I did before, brushing up. Actually, what I should have said, this is a newer mask, so it's quite sticky. It's quite useful just to detack it on your jeans or your arm. Get free waxing if you do it on your arm.
Was on mine.
I've got quite a bit of ink on this brush still. So.
I was going to say I've got quite a bit of hair on my arm.
Speak for yourself, mate.
I was.
I know. Right. Actually, I might go away with not moving it across here because I'm just going to go either side of him, so they won't look like the straight line of clouds. I'll just keep peeling. There we go. That's probably about it.
And it's when all the masks come off, isn't it?
Yeah,
It gives you that
you
lovely
see the difference.
reveal. Yeah.
What I'll do, I'll just drop that on the carrier sheet, and then I'm just going to add a bit of blue around him and the castle here, just to, as we said before, just to soften that white.
Yeah.
Okay, let's have a look then. Gosh, it's 1/4 past.
I know.
Right, it's coming off there. Hang on, let's try this way.
So it's just nice and slow, especially
Just
with
do it
if it's
slowly.
brand new,
Yeah.
as Deb said, if there's a mask, it is that little bit more stickier to start with. So you could detack it. Even putting it on a piece of copy paper will help detack it as well.
Yep. Okay, right, let me just pop that up. I'll sort that carrier sheet out in a minute. Okay, right, so he's done. Let's lift him off, and then I'll just talk through the last steps. As I say, I'll do a detailed step-by-step on my blog as well. So,
and you've got the downloads available as well.
The downloads are available.
With all the ingredients used.
While we're here, let me just talk about cleaning masks.
Okay.
Because you can see it on the clouds one. You can see I've got a load of blue there.
Yeah.
All I do is a bit of paper towel, kitchen paper.
Yeah.
Fold it up. Spritz it with a water bottle. So I spritz the towel rather than the stencil. The mask, and then I just wipe it over. And because it's plasticized, it all comes off. Look, there's loads more ink on there than they look like. The danger is you can kind of think, oh, it looks fine, there's nothing on there, I won't clean it. And the next time you come to use it, it'll be contaminated. Look how much was on there.
I know. And then obviously if you're using archival ink pads, then you would use isopropyl whatever.
Alcohol.
Yeah.
Or leave it.
Or leave it, because it's not going to shift, is it?
Okay, the only other thing I then did was actually colour him with pergoliners.
That's lovely.
And I did that after masking, and let me show you why. Because my first one, I coloured him first and then masked him.
Oh, and it transferred.
And look, the mask has picked up a bit
because it was a brand new mask.
Because it was a new mask and it's sticking. It picked up a bit of the
And did you use
pencil
Dorso oil when you coloured in?
Yeah, but after. But it still picked a bit. Oh, I might have used it before actually. Can't remember.
Because it's possible that if
It's
you've used the
possible.
Dorso oil, it's got that sort of lubricant
Yeah.
to it as opposed to a dry
But either
pencil.
way,
Colouring
my
after.
message now is colouring afterwards.
The mask looks lovely.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
pretty. It's
very
fine
nice.
if I want to do him in red again. It's not a problem. So yes, I coloured him in
Let's zoom in on that one.
with pergolina pencils, and then went over him with the Dorso oil.
Yes.
So you just smooth out your colouring
just like
lines.
you did on the little boats on the water.
And then just skipping forwards for the finished version, yeah, just obviously coloured in his beard and face and his crown. And I used, you probably can't see on here, but I used the metallic pens, gel pens. I forgot to put those on the list.
Gel pen.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Just to dot in the jewels, just so there's
a
a bit of shimmery on them.
Oh, I like that idea.
So I used green and blue ones. He's got sapphires and emeralds in his crown.
Very nice, lucky king.
I know. And that's and a sentiment
from your
what are the new sentiments?
Royal Sentiments A6 square stamp set.
That's it, King of the Castle.
Or birthday, what's that? Birthday King.
If the crown fits, wear it.
Yeah.
Could go on there nicely.
Yeah, and you've got all those little accents as well.
Yeah, all these little.
You could probably add detail to the robe or something.
You could.
You could do it on the Queen one, couldn't you?
Definitely.
If you take the Queen and you can take those little accents, you could decorate her outfit.
You could. You could. Or give them a kind of a halo of little stars or something above them. All sorts of possibilities.
Yeah, 'cause you've got hearts, you've got gems, little stars on there.
In fact, the King, I'm just looking, be a bit more difficult for the Queen because she's got a bigger nose. Sorry, Mum. But the King, you could, on the stamp, mask off the crown and isolate the crown if you just wanted a crown.
Yes, you could, yeah.
If you could mask it off on the stamp, low tack tape across the stamp,
I see what
and then just have and then not stamp the gnome, just have the
crown on its own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of possibilities. Oh, quite like that idea. Good thinking, me.
Wow.
That's it.
Well, I think it's time for a coffee now. And a sit down.
So clear this detritus. See it.
So thank you for joining us for this hour. Thank you to lovely Jane, as always, for helping out in the room.
Yeah.
Deborah and I will be back at 2 o'clock. Lovely Grace, all the way from New York, will be joining us in the chat. Don't forget, if you came in halfway through the show or towards the end, if you go to the claritycraft.com website and you go to the Catch Up and Craft, you'll be able to look back at this whole show. You'll be able to find the downloads of the demos that Deb shared with us. Don't forget to check out Deborah's blog, which is
deborahscraftyblog.com,
where she'll do the step-by-steps on all of these over the coming week.
Yeah.
What else is there? Yes, I think that's it for now.
And check out the Clarity Facebook, Clarity Worldwide Facebook page as well, because the design team always put in other artwork as well. Sarah Brennan posted a brilliant card yesterday using that bunting one that's a bit Austin Powers themed, groovy.
Oh, nice.
That I just thought was just great. So there's always other ideas on there as well.
Super. So thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you at 2 o'clock later.